I have a secret to tell you. It's been weighing on me for quite some time, and I think it's time I finally come clean. I am not Rosalina's birth mother. I know that might be hard to believe. I'll give you a minute to take it in. You know, I know she's the spitting image of me. She looks just like me, so maybe, whether you believe it or not, it's my truth. Rosalina and I have had a great conversation about how beautiful adoption is, and you know, I thought it was time I come clean that although she is the spitting image of me and it feels as though she grew inside my very existent womb for 9 months, she was adopted. And that's my truth.
I'm just telling you the truth of what actually happened.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
All right.
Speaking of secrets, there are quite a few secrets that are held within the trans community. There are a lot of things going on behind closed doors that, girl, nobody is talking about. So somebody better bring it to light, and it might as well be me. If you're new here, hi, what's up? My name is Victoria Rose. I'm a 25-year-old woman of transgender experience, and here on this channel, we talk about literally everything from femininity content to reaction videos to some real life tea spilling like this one. Now, in my like 10, 11, 12-ish year, I think like 11 years in transition, I have learned so much. I've met so many people. When I started my transition, I knew no trans people at all, let alone any trans women like me. And I would see people and be like, how do they get like that? How do they look like that? Like, what is this thing they're talking about? And I came to realize there was a lot of things being kept hush hush between trans women. And now, girl, I'm not here sharing the Krabby Patty secret formula with everybody. Don't worry, to the girls watching. But there are some secrets that trans girls hold, and I figured it's time that I share that with all of you. I've been thinking about this video for a while, so I'm ready to share all of it with you. And before I do, I have a word from our wonderful sponsor over at Catch Beauty. Hi there. If you know me, if you've been following me for a while, then you would know that body hair removal and permanent body hair removal has been a huge roadblock in my transition. For years, I had to shave my arms, my legs every single day if I wanted a smooth result, and I had already spent thousands of dollars hand over fist at salon and electrolysis lasers on my face and my bikini, so I was just not interested in spending that money on my whole body. So I did some research, and that is when I found Catch Beauty's at-home IPL laser hair removal device. This laser is my top recommended method of permanent hair removal and permanent hair reduction. Like I said, I used to have to shave my arms like every single day, and you can see here I have no hairs. The ones that I do are like blonde hairs that wouldn't be picked up anyway. With our IPL handset, you can get salon quality results at home for a fraction of the price. Also, it's in the comfort of your own home, and you can use it anywhere on your entire body. Instead of booking a section for your calf and then your thigh and then your tummy and then your chest, girl, you would be in a salon for years. On top of their incredible products, I really love what Catch Beauty stands for. They have been supporting the trans community since day one, providing us with resources. Catch Beauty wants to help us through even the hairiest parts of our transition. So whether you are trans, not trans, man, woman, somewhere in between, if you want permanent hair removal and permanent hair reduction, I highly recommend you click the link in my description box down below, check out the Catch Beauty at-home IPL laser hair removal device, and use code ROSE to get money off your order. Thank you so much to Catch Beauty for sponsoring this portion of today's video, and without further ado, girl, it's time for us to spill some tea. Okay, so the first secret that I have to share with you, whether you are a trans girl, an ally, a trans amorous, whatever, is that a lot of trans girls tend to avoid bottom surgery or put it off out of fear of being alone. Starting off on kind of a sad note, but I mean, it's true. You know, the dating pool might be a little different now that it's 2023. I actually met my almost husband next month, girl, next month. I met my husband when I was post-op, and there was really no dating issues there. In fact, I actually felt like it made my life a little easier in the dating pool. It's true. I mean, a lot of straight men don't want to date trans women, whether they are pre or post-op. And a lot of the men that are into trans women are mostly into us because of our between me down there. So a lot of girls historically, and even still today, put it off because they're afraid that they're just going to be alone forever, that they won't find somebody to love them. And that's really sad, and that's not something that I experienced. I mean, for me, I always put my own self-love above the love of another. Like for me, if no one ever wanted to date me after I got bottom surgery, I would have still got it because I just wouldn't have been happy or complete otherwise. I would much rather be alone and happy with myself than with somebody and miserable. Do you know? Also, a reason why some people don't get bottom surgery for a while is that, I mean, I'll talk about this a little bit later, but something that we hear a lot, especially from our trans elders, something that I was told multiple times, something even from my trans mother, that a girl with a dick is a girl with a check. Seriously, if you're in a bad position and you are a trans girl that's pre-op, you have a much higher chance of survival. And I'm not saying for a job, because obviously trans people are discriminated against in the workplace and have been historically since the beginning of time, really. But sex work is always an option for girls like me. And that is something, again, I'll talk about in a point just a little bit later. Also, I'm just gonna be calling sex work SW for now, just so YouTube doesn't censor me. So on top of the fear of being alone, or on top of the fear of losing SW clients, a lot of older people, a lot of older queens, and this doesn't really apply to today, I don't think, but back in the day, a lot of girls would get bottom surgery and gain a bunch of weight and go batshit crazy. And I mean like go nuts. Like a lot of them really went off the rails, gained a bunch of weight, just lost their minds. And honestly, I feel like it has something to do with the medical knowledge at the time, because a lot of those girls probably got surgery and maybe it didn't feel right, they didn't have sensation, it didn't look right, it, you know, was any kind of complication. I'm sure the list goes on. And yeah, girl, that would make me go crazy too if I was just mutilated down there. I mean, I'm sure victims of FGM have similar responses. So I get older queens' concern with getting bottom surgery and going bananas, but that really doesn't apply to today. I've had bottom surgery and I'm not saying I'm the most mentally stable person in the world, but I actually stabled out quite a bit from my bottom surgery. So while that doesn't necessarily apply to now, I know a lot of older queens will know exactly what I'm talking about. Another secret that I'll share here, this isn't really like a funny one, and it's not, I mean, it's not even really a secret, but a lot of the dolls are in SW. A lot. And I'm not saying that with any judgment, like I get it, and you know, I'm pro SW and all of that, but the stereotype really does hold up. And there are a few reasons for that. Mainly that we are not provided with jobs, housing, healthcare, things like that most of the time in our transition. So in order to achieve those things, say your insurance doesn't cover surgery and you need $20,000 to spend on surgery, where are you getting that? Where are you getting $20,000? If you're working, you might be working 12-hour days, 5, 6, 7 days a week, and you still might just be scraping by. So even if you have a job, even if you have housing, on top of that, insurance might not pay for it. So SW is not an easy way, but it is one of the only ways some girls like us can just make that money to continue our transition. That is actually true for a lot of influencers as well, trans and not trans, even though they might be doing just fine with their socials. The money is tempting, and that's something else that adds onto the list. Like if it's not for survival sex work, it might also be because the money is great. These men will pay for all these surgeries, for their apartments, their phone bills, their health insurance, everything else. So why would you not take care of it? Why would you not be tempted by this influence? And on top of that, it's not just these girls that go out to find people, that go out to find clients. It doesn't mean that people are on the corner or at the harbor just waiting for someone to come pick them up. People come up to us. People come up to trans women because the stereotype is so strong and ask us, you know, how much, or, you know, oh, I have a friend out there that like really likes girls like you know, I would love to, if we could pay for your time. I've had that happen to me at my place of work. Like at my old place of work. Girl, if someone walks into my bedroom, they're like, can I hire you? It falls into our lap, and because we're so desperate for so many things, we are so much more likely to fall into SW, and that is something that can be really tough to get out of. Now, I do not condone SW. It is not safe, especially in the United States. It's not safe, it's not regulated, and I don't want any of my girls out there getting involved in that. But if you are, please remember to stay safe, keep a weapon on you, and tell people where you are at all times. This next one, honey, girl, the girls don't want me to tell you this. The girls don't want me to tell you this, but someone has to, okay? Someone really, truly has to bring this to light. When I began my transition at 14, I'm 25 now. When I began my transition at 14, up until probably about 17, I would see these trans women, especially legendary girls in ballroom, and they had these crazy bodies. They had this hourglass shape with a super duper wide hips, some of them even wider than cis women that I knew. And I remember thinking, God, I just want that body so bad. What's wrong with my body that it doesn't do that naturally? What's wrong with my body that my hips aren't as wide as my shoulders now that I've been on hormones for 3 years? I genuinely thought, I'm just not built that way and it's on me. Because all of these girls were telling me that, oh, it's just hormones, it's just hormones. I have this shape because of hormones. Baby, the girls are getting pumped. I mean, I'm sorry, the girls are getting pumped. I'm sorry to be the one that tells you, but it is true. These girls, I know people know that back in the day, people used to get injected with illegal silicone. It is still very much alive and well. It is still very much still happening. And I'm not saying this with any judgment. I'm not, you know, I will say that silicone is not safe. I do not condone getting illegal, just loose silicone injected into your body. That is not safe, but it's still happening every single day. The use of loose silicone is on a decline for sure, because people now can get breast implants covered by insurance instead of getting their breasts injected with silicone. We can get fillers in our lips and cheeks instead of getting raw silicone injected. But okay, so yes, there are BBLs, there are implants. A BBL, for those of you who might not know, is a fat transfer. It's called a Brazilian butt lift, but they take fat from other parts in your body and they add it to your hips and your butt to give you a fuller look. When you see a girl that is very thin, tiny little arms, teeny little legs, and then hips that go like this, like wider than any girl you've ever seen, it's silicone injections. It's silicone injections. Eden the Doll and Elena Genevieve have both made videos about this, and I commend them for doing that. You know, they're not really, I mean, they're not exactly anti-silicone in their videos, but they are being upfront and honest. And Elena even shares that allegedly Nikita Dragon also got pumped. And I mean, I allegedly knew that. I know my girl on the West Coast, or who used to be on the West Coast, there's some more tea that I can't even spill right here, but there are pumpers on all sorts of different parts of the country, different parts of the world, and it's sort of a referral basis program. Basically what I'm saying is the world of underground procedures in the trans community is very much alive and well. It has been for a long time, but it has not gone anywhere. You know, trans women, we are so eager to look like the woman that we see in our heads. And I think one of the best advice I've ever been given in my transition is to take your time. Because honey, you're always gonna be a woman. You're always gonna be a woman. It's just gonna take time to reach the body that you want. If anyone is telling you that their body is just hormones and they look surgically altered, if it looks like a duck, if it sounds like a duck, it's a duck. They got pumped. People will say now, it's hydrogel. People will say hydrogel instead of silicone. Girl, it's silicone. It's still silicone. I've talked to some girls up in New York, some of the legendary queens actually. I've asked about hydrogel and they tell me, girl, it's just silicone. So keep that in mind. Again, silicone is not safe. I do not condone silicone. I would advise against it for literally anybody, but just know when you see these girls don't compare your bodies to theirs because it's surgically altered and there's nothing wrong with you. Also, a side note, I'm not dogging on the girls that have had silicone. Like, I mean, I completely understand it. Like, I get it. You want a certain shape and I get the desperation and the dysphoria. So that's no shade to girls that have had silicone. But I'm just saying for the younger girls out there, it's not worth it. Don't do it. Another secret amongst trans women. This is something that no one talks about, I think even less so than the silicone, is we have to deal with facial hair for way longer than most of us let on. A lot of trans influencers will be like, follow me to my first laser appointment. And then they'll be like, oh my God, my skin is so soft. Like, I had one laser appointment and I don't have to shave anymore. That's not how it's gonna work. That is not how it's gonna work. Laser works and electrolysis works, IPL laser works, but it's not going to give you overnight results. And on your face, especially because that's hormonal, that is going to take so much time and money. I have easily spent thousands of dollars and countless hours in salons getting my face lasered. I've had so many sessions. I think I bought 2 packages of laser on my face, but I still have red and blonde hairs in my face, so it didn't all get picked up. So I had multiple hours of electrolysis on my face where they get a little tiny needle and go right into your skin, right into the follicle, electrocute it, and pull it out. I've had so much. I stopped going because I would just cry after even 30 minutes. I used to be able to go an hour and a half and my tolerance just got lower. This is incredibly vulnerable for me. I don't want to admit this, but I do still shave my face. You know, I know some girls that have shaved their face twice a day, and thank God that was never my case. You know, laser and electrolysis have helped a lot, but I still have to shave. And that is something that eats me up inside. You know, that's something I know we have seen. I think Laganja actually recently uploaded something of her doing this, but I know Gigi Gorgeous uploaded a video of her getting like hours of electrolysis done while being put under. And I want to do that so bad. If there's any esthetician or any anesthesiologist out there that wants to help me with that, please, I will shout you out. I'll do anything. Anything, please. But in my state, that is not a procedure that's available, so I'd have to go somewhere else to get that done. And it's just been a lot. So trust me, if you are years into your transition and you've had laser and whatever and you're still shaving, you're not alone. I'm 11 years in and I've spent hours and thousands of dollars and I'm still struggling. So it's tough, but you will figure it out. I will figure it out. I have faith in myself, my transition, so you should too. My last trans secret that I'm going to share with all of you, and sort of ties all of these tips together, is that trans women are a very in-group, out-group mentality, and we keep secrets. Like this whole video, we withhold what some would call the Krabby Patty secret formula. Now, I'm not sharing everything on this channel, girl. I'm not sharing everything. But this is just like the silicone bitch. People being like, it's just my hormones, it's my hormones. But you get close to them and they go, oh no, I saw Miss. Whether it is pumpers, whether it's good deals on hair, whether it's men, whether it's certain spots to go, even secret procedures that make them look a little bit better while they can still claim to be natural because they don't look that different. A great example of this is a lip lift where they go in under the nose, they cut out a chunk of skin and they lift the lip just a little higher. That is something they do in a lot of facial feminization procedures, and people will go and get it while having their lips filled, and it just looks like maybe they got their lips done again. And they'll tell you, oh, I've just had some injections here and there, like, but it's just that. Like, I've never had anything else done. Girl, yes you have. So for me, for example, as of right now, I have had nothing done to my face at all. I want things done to my face. I'm not, I'm not gonna try and hide any facial procedures from any of you, but a lot of times girls will have certain doctors that work on them well, and there's this one doctor in your area, in your state, but there are injectors who are trans or who work mostly on trans women and do certain procedures to help them along their transition. And that is, again, something that is kept on lock amongst trans girls. Why is that? I don't really know. Is it because they don't want someone looking like them or as good as them? Maybe. Is it because they don't want the price of things being jacked up because so many people are going there? Maybe. I don't really know. Another thing that we tend to keep between us, like in the in group, is the gossip on all the girls. All the local girls, all the girls in ballroom, all the girls in all different houses, whatever. And if you are, this will depend on where you are and who you are. You might not get any gossip. I don't know. For me, with my platform especially, I have so much tea on all the girls. All the girls. I will say, I was dropped in one group chat, and I've been dropped in a million group chats on Instagram and stuff, but I was dropped in one group chat where somebody was threatening, like really, for real threatening to call a hit on another trans girl here on YouTube. Call a hit? Call a hit? A hit? It's 1993? What are you talking about? What are you calling the mafia? The Yakuza? What are you talking about? Call a hit on somebody. There's so much drama that happens within the trans community. So whether it is secret procedures, men, pumpers, drama about other girls, there's a very cliquey environment amongst trans women. There's an in-group and an out-group. In order to get all of these secrets of our transition, a lot of times you have to be part of the in-group. So that is why someone who, like me, was in the in-group and has no desire to stay in the in-group now can come on here and share all of these secrets with all of you. So I hope this video helped some of you. Maybe it helped you along your transition. Maybe it helped you get to know your trans friend a little bit better. Whatever it is, if it did help you, please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. It helps my channel so much. Share it with whoever might need it, and leave me a comment down below letting me know if there's any more secrets that I missed out on. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please, if I gave any secrets away, don't come hating at me. I'm just trying to help the young girls out there. I'm just trying to help the dolls. So if you enjoyed it, again, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Thank you all so much for spending your time with me. You are all amazing. And until I see you next week, good luck. I love you.